Hello, everyone. I am Stephanie Puryear-Helling, founder of SBH Services, leading people and teams to success. And I'm so excited to be here today with some of the members of our National Apartment Association Education Institute Residential Property Management Committee. And many of us are actually part of the RPM Careers Week subcommittee. So RPM Careers Week begins today, April 14th, and it runs through Friday, April 18th. And it's a wonderful opportunity for us to not only celebrate all of the incredible leaders and team members who make this industry fantastic, but to also celebrate our lovely supplier partners and to share more about this incredible industry with people who are potentially looking for a career change. Maybe they're graduating college here in another month, or graduating high school and looking for a great opportunity to begin a very fruitful career. So I have been in the multifamily real estate or residential property management industry pretty much my entire adult career life. So I started out in the industry when I was in college at the University of Texas. And I walked into an apartment community in downtown Austin looking for an apartment. And I walked out with an apartment and a job. And it was awesome because I think I paid $100 in rent for a 2-story loft apartment overlooking downtown, if I agreed to work there as a leasing professional. And I thought, well, yes, absolutely. And this will be a great job while I'm in school. So I really did think that it was going to be perhaps a transitional career opportunity. And I've made an entire career out of it, spanning several decades. So I got 47 leases my first month in the business and loved working with people. And now I've been in leadership development in some way, shape, or form the last couple of decades. And so my passion is really people. I love connecting with people. I love understanding what makes people tick. And I love to lead people and teams to success through helping them with their own personal and professional development. So I have been fortunate enough to serve at the national level and be involved in the National Apartment Association and specifically the National Apartment Association Education Institute for the last 15 plus years. And so I am a former chair of the RPM Careers Committee, as well as the Curriculum Development Committee. And I am a former president of the National Apartment Association Education Institute. And currently I still serve and give back as a volunteer on the RPM Careers Committee because it is a purpose and passion that is near and dear to my heart, which is educating the wonderful people that are within our industry and helping others to discover this incredible industry that has provided an excellent career for so many. So that's a little bit about me. I'm super excited to have everyone else here with me on stage today. So I'm going to go around the virtual room and ask some of our great leaders that are here with me today to tell you a little bit about themselves and their history and background in the industry, and tell you more about why you should consider this as a career, or if you're already in the industry, why we want you to join us in celebrating during this week. So Erica, I'm going to start with you first. If you will, please introduce yourself and give us a bit of your background and history and how you found your career, and a little bit about your role within the RPM Careers Committee and Subcommittee.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Sanchez. I am a regional vice president at Cardinal Management, and I've been in the multifamily industry for 20 years. So most of my adult life has been spent in this career as well. And I currently oversee operations across multiple communities in Colorado and Texas. And as part of the RPM Careers Subcommittee, I'm so passionate about highlighting just this incredible, career path and opportunities our industry offers and mentoring the next generation of property management leaders.
That's awesome, Erica. I'm so glad to have you here today. So, when you think about your passion for your RPM career, what is one thing that you love about your career in residential property management that you can share with others?
Sure. So, the one thing that I absolutely love about this career is that no 2 days are ever the same. This industry definitely keeps you on your toes and in the best possible way. So, you're constantly learning, adapting, growing. But above all, it's really the people for me as well. Just how they tick, how they work. Everybody is so different, which I love learning about people and, we have the privilege of building communities and impacting lives daily. And I think that kind of purpose is just very powerful.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And it is such an important, I think, purpose and calling, right? What we do in the industry to not only provide homes for people, which is one of the most important things in our lives, but to create careers and create a place that people are not only proud to live, but also proud to work. Love that. So, for future leaders considering a career in residential property management, what would you say makes this industry not just a job, but a fulfilling and impactful career?
Oh my gosh, it is definitely more than just a job. And I think most of us, 99% of us will raise our hand and say, I just fell into this career because it is a career. It's a career that blends leadership, problem solving, people skills in a very dynamic environment. So if you love being challenged and making an impact, it's definitely the space for you. And I think my advice for future leaders is, lean in early, stay curious. Don't be afraid to raise your hand. I think a lot of people are, but, don't be and seek mentorship. Speak up in rooms where decisions are made and always lead with heart and accountability.
I love that. And such a great combination, heart and accountability, right? I did an interview with Monica Begg earlier today, and she talked a lot about the importance of heart showing up in our leadership and expressing empathy and compassion, but also pairing that with exactly what you just said, accountability, both holding ourselves accountable as leaders as well as holding our team members accountable to achieve more, do more, be more. Love that. So, what key advice would you offer to those looking to become successful leaders in this space? Maybe they're aspiring leaders that are already in this space, or they're looking for leadership opportunities in residential property management.
I was thinking about this question quite a bit, and I just watched the documentary that Val Kilmer, put out. And in that documentary, he said there are no small parts, only small actors. So, just remember that you're the heartbeat of your community, whether you're leasing, whether you're in maintenance, or a community manager. The work that you do creates homes and memories for residents. And I think that's something to be proud of no matter what position you're in. And it's endless. This career, there's, just so many opportunities, like we said, and it's endless opportunities, whether you're on site, whether you want to climb the ladder or, whether you want to climb the lattice, which I feel I have done. I've, climbed the lattice, and I think it's just brought me the most amazing opportunities. So be proud of that. Celebrate your journey, support your teammates, and own your value because this week is for you.
Oh, love that so much. Can you share one tip to help get everyone motivated and excited about RPM Careers Week? So today the focus is really on leaders and people who are in support roles. And we have a designated day for every day of the week. But what's one motivational tip that you can share with everyone to get them excited and motivated to participate in RPM Careers Week?
Oh my gosh, I would say just do it. I'm going to quote Nike. Get out there and do it. Go on to, the webpage and look at all the endless, opportunities on there for each day to celebrate your team members. Again, it's all about the people, and we should be celebrating everybody.
I love that so much. Okay. So any final words before I go to our next wonderful leader here that's with us today?
No final words from me.
Okay,
Thank you,
excellent.
Stephanie.
Thank you so much. All right, Rebecca, coming to you next. So tell everyone a little bit about you. Again, your history. How did you get into this industry? How you got involved in the National Apartment Association Education Institute, and then your role on our committee.
All right. Well, I had an unconventional role. I guess I should say, first of all, hi, I'm Becky Reeves, and I work for Hankin Apartments. I'm the vice president, and I've been at Hankin for 24 years. So also been in the industry a long time. We have units in Pennsylvania and Florida. And I have been part of this committee for 4 years, which has been really great because we've seen a lot of growth and a lot of really committed people doing great things. So my road to an RPM career, I think, was a little bit different than a lot of roads like Stephanie, going in and kind of working from a leasing agent to working your way up to leadership roles. I started here at this company as an executive assistant, and I had an English degree, and I was going to be the next great American novelist. And, what paths just led to different things. And I had a little bit of marketing experience. So I was in a marketing path, and then about 2012, I went to the multifamily side of the business and just never looked back. And it was so rewarding and just not something I ever thought about doing. Like you said, it kind of fell into my lap as far as, just wasn't a career path that I had thought about. And it has been amazing. And just, it's so hard to even sometimes nail down exactly what we do, because we do a lot, a lot of different things. And you have a little bit of marketing, a little bit of HR, a little bit of design and development, a little bit, you're just kind of all over the place. And it's great to have your hands in all of those departments.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think, one of the things that makes this industry so unique, well, first of all, even though we encourage college grads, and some are actually getting a 4-year residential property management degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even though we're encouraging college grads or career changers to consider our industry, you don't have to have a college degree to come, join our industry, and the opportunities to do meaningful work that makes a positive impact in the lives of others is truly endless. And I think that's what's so incredible as I talk to people like yourselves or who have served in other roles within the industry. They've served in multiple roles like you, and you can really do so much. You are not locked into one lane for the entire time that you're in multifamily. You can really try a number of different things and see where do your strengths align with the different roles that are available. So I couldn't agree with you more. So my first question for you is, can you tell us one thing in particular, and I know it's hard to choose just one, but what's one thing that you love about your career in residential property management that you can share with others?
So I think, again, in thinking about this, it is hard to pick one thing because I love so much about it. But a little bit of, Marion, what Erica said, building community would be the one thing that I just feel very, very passionate about. The fact that you're creating a home, creating a sense of place, that's just so important. People are coming to a place that you've been part of, that they're creating connections and core memories that it's just something, a lot of people in their career are not a part of. It's very personal. And I just think that that is really something that's unique to this industry. You're creating environments, you're creating that sense of place, and that's rewarding and unique.
Absolutely. Okay, so my next question for future leaders listening to this, either today or in the future, for future leaders considering a career in residential property management, what would you say makes this industry not just a job, but a fulfilling and impactful career? And you just touched on that, but if you can expand on that a little bit more.
Yes, I mean, it's not a 9-to-5 clock in, clock out type of career, and not to say that to, make anyone shy away from it, but it's a commitment, and you're dealing with people and their homes, and you're dealing with community. So that is just something that is very rewarding. Like we said, making those connections are so important. And that's to say with colleagues and just the industry, talking about all of the people that I've met, at least from whether I'm volunteering with NAA or you colleagues in our general area, everyone that I've come across has really wanted to lift you up and be supportive. And there's a lot of mentorship, and just the connections are really amazing. It's a very tight-knit, very just kind community. You have to have empathy, I think, to work with people and again with their homes. But I find that the industry really has each other's back, and it's a really cool connection of people from all over. And I think that that's really important. Make those connections, be kind, work hard, do your best, but those connections will really help you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So I did, an interview this morning, and then I did 3 on Friday and talked to various leaders within our industry. So I had Mindy Price, who's the NSC chair this year, and I had former chairman Mike Holmes, who also was inducted into the NAA Hall of Fame last June at Departmentalized, which is the highest honor that, can be received within our industry. And then I also interviewed Kirk Downey, who won the Lifetime Achievement Award for his contributions in the industry. And when I was talking to all 3 of them on Friday, and then Monica Begg this morning, I think one of the overarching themes, similar to what, Becky, you and Erica were just sharing, is the opportunities available in this industry to network with just incredible people. And it's multifamily, but it truly is a family, right? Of course, there are many of us, they're sponsors or, supplier partners who are competitors. There are owners and operators who are technically competitors. But the way that we come together to share best practices with one another, to support one another, to create really lasting, lifelong friendships, I think is so unique to this industry and very different than what people find in so many other spaces and jobs and careers. And I think it's such a special thing, just to reiterate what you were just saying. So what key advice would you give or offer to those looking to become successful leaders in this space? So again, maybe they're emerging leaders, maybe they're brand new to the industry and are aspiring leaders. What's some advice you can give to them?
Yeah, I mean, get involved, join your local association, join or be part of, volunteer for NAA, really get involved, make those connections. And, just like I had said before, lead with kindness, lead with empathy. And I think that good things will happen and you'll go far and you have a lot of pathways to choose from. So,
yeah, love that. All right. So it is RPM Careers Week. We're kicking that off today and it runs through Friday. What is one tip that you can share to get everyone motivated to participate in this week and excited about RPM Careers Week?
Yeah, so my tip would just be make it fun. Like we have had so much fun planning videos and games and different ways for the teams to get involved. And we've been laughing a lot just watching, we're putting ourselves out there, but also watching the teams do some really fun things. So I would just say make it fun, create a lot of laughs, share with everyone and make it a game. It's a really great week to celebrate everything that we all do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Becky. Okay, last but not least, I am coming to my friend, Adrian. And Adrian and I actually worked at the same company several years ago, both of us for many years. And have both started our entrepreneurial journeys the last few years, kind of continuing a lot of what we were doing, but broadening that to add value and serve others in a broader capacity. So Adrian, I'm so excited to have you here today. I'd love for you to tell everyone, particularly people who don't know you yet, because I assume everyone knows who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey in residential property management and the multifamily space, where it began, where you are now, and why you're excited about RPM Careers Week.
Thank you so much for having me, Stephanie, today. It's an honor to be here with a couple of other amazing leaders of our industry. My career has started many years ago, 22 years to be correct. Back in 2003, I was new to United States, wasn't speaking much English at all. And my goal was at the time to secure a full-time job with benefits for $10 an hour. It happened to be that a first serious opportunity that I had was as a part-time groundskeeper in an apartment community. I was fortunate enough to be given a chance and just kind of took it, made the best of it. 20 years later, I was overseeing a portfolio of 32,000 apartment homes. And a couple of years ago, I started my entrepreneurial journey, as you mentioned. I started working for myself. I think I could use my talents better in serving more than just one company at a time. So this gives me the opportunity to work with more than one client at a time and actually serve the industry better, I think, in a capacity and share everything that I've learned over the years.
I love it. And I'm so glad you're here because, your background is in maintenance, and that is such a crucial part of what we do in our industry, right? How do we take care of these multi-million-dollar assets, and how do we take care of our residents' homes? That's one of the number one needs. Obviously, they need us to manage the communities and be friendly and provide activities. But when you think about it, what's the biggest need that you have in your home? Well, when something breaks, you need someone to fix it, right? And without our incredible maintenance team members, we would not be able to serve our residents or maintain our communities and take care of people's homes and keep them happy. So I'm so glad to have you here to share that perspective with people who are looking for opportunities in the residential property management industry or multifamily, because it's, I think, such a great opportunity for people who, maybe they've got their HVAC license somewhere, or maybe they've been in construction elsewhere, or the military perhaps, but there's so many different careers and jobs that where people have the type of experience that we're looking for, that align very nicely with multifamily. So I'm really glad to have you here to tell people a little bit more about that opportunity. So thinking about that, right, that opportunity, can you expand on that for me? And then also share what you love most about your career in residential property management?
Certainly. I want to tell everyone that's watching that a career is really what you make it. It's not what anybody else tells you. A company or the industry or an association will tell you. It's literally what you make it. I think I'm one of the examples that I started as a groundskeeper and as a vice president of facilities and maintenance, and now I'm doing lots of podcasts. I'm doing a lot of networking. I created a facilities leadership group council where we're gathering the brightest minds in an industry. We're trying to become the think tank, the group that drives the industry forward from a from a facilities perspective. So there's just so many opportunities. It's not necessarily a straight path, and also careers in general, they're not like a straight arrow type of thing. There's a lot of up and down, but I think what really stays is that the meaning. If you could find meaning in the work that you do, you could have a long fulfilling career. I think that applies to other industries too. I can't really speak for that because my entire adult career has been in multifamily. I'm not considering leaving anytime soon. It's been very, very fulfilling for me. And my apologies. What was the second question?
Just what are you most passionate about, aside from what you've already shared, about your career in residential property management?
I'll say elevating facilities where they should be, not being looked at just as an expense, but actually a group that contributes to to NOI, to contributes to makes or breaks a property. I would like to believe that we're the ones that influencing in a most positive way. When you're looking at the type of interaction that we have one-on-one with residents and prospects, maintenance has more interactions than anyone else at the site level. Therefore, we have so much more opportunity to actually make an impact than every other employee at the site level. And I think that there's a huge opportunity. Also, looking at maintenance as as an opportunity to make more money for the owners and operators, not just as an expense. I think that's an incredible opportunity. And also creating something that you could be very, very proud of when it's all said and done for you, to look behind and say, I have served people. I have influenced the lives of others in other ways that probably I wouldn't have the opportunity if I was to have another job, like outside of this industry. I think we're at times, we're thinking too small. We're looking at this as just like a very narrow path, like a path that could only get us to like a service manager, possibly maybe maintenance director for the luckiest of us. I don't think that that's the case. I've seen maintenance individuals, professionals that have become regional managers, VPs, or even running entire companies as chief operating officer or chief executive officer. Again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Your career is what you make it, is not what one or another person might tell you that it is. So the opportunities are really endless. And let's not forget that this is not a small thing. This is a multi-trillion-dollar industry that we're serving. $1 trillion. There's so many zeros in a trillion, right? It's a million times a million.
Amazing. Amazing. And I couldn't agree more that it truly is what you make it. If you listen to, just the four of us today, how we started out in the industry and then what we've done with our careers, we've been blessed to wear so many different hats and try different things to make a positive impact. And I do believe some of that comes with opportunity and timing, right? But a large part of that just really comes with the determination and raising your hand and being willing to learn and grow and raise your hand, step into a room and try it on for size, right? And that's another thing that makes this industry so incredible, because as you said, Adrian, the opportunities truly are endless. You just have to go for it and find them. So my next question for you is, passion for your RPM career. So piggybacking off of what we were just talking about, and you answered a lot of this, but what are you most passionate about when it comes to residential property management? Why this industry and not another industry?
We work with people for people, and I think that makes all the difference in a world. Not so many other industries could say the same thing. If you really have a heart for people, to be around them, to support them, to serve them, this could be an amazing career for you. I think it's unique in so many ways. We're not just offering, homes. Like what we do, we service the most intimate, the most personal thing for, for individuals that are renting apartments in our communities. It is not just a transactional thing. It goes way beyond the transaction. It's a sacred place. It's where people raise their families, where they raise their children, and for us to be trusted with such a huge task, it's an incredible thing. Being able to serve at a high level for people, I can think of many other areas that could be more fulfilling.
Love that. Could not agree more. All right. So when we think about future leaders looking for a career in property management, and specifically looking for opportunities in facilities and maintenance, and serving in that type of role, what would you say makes this industry not just a job, but a fulfilling and impactful career, to add on to what you've just shared with us? And then what advice would you give to someone who's interested in learning more and looking for an opportunity in this industry? Where do they get started?
First, start with networking. Go way outside your perceived boundaries, like outside your community, outside your company. Go reach out to people that have been where you wanted to go. Reach out to them, ask questions, send them a direct message, send them a DM, ask them a question, ask for advice, ask for someone to be a mentor for you, someone that, again, you're looking up to, someone that you want to become one day. This industry has been so generous to me. I've been so lucky. I've been so incredibly fortunate to have so many amazing people that have guided me and mentored me, and gave their time to help me succeed in my career. I don't think that I'm a special situation. I just think that many of us could share very similar stories. I encourage you, if you're really trying to make this a career, to reach out to those that inspire you, those that you see. Make sure that you have an account on LinkedIn. Make sure that you're posting on LinkedIn. Make sure that you're engaging on LinkedIn. This is an amazing platform, and it's an amazing place to virtually create relationships that could turn into like in-person relationships. There's so much opportunity that comes from knowing others and from learning from others too. It's not just whom you know, but what you could learn from them, how they could help you get better.
I love that. And I do think, focusing on making connections is so huge. When I think about, I've been blessed to have so many different people and leaders in my life, or peers, and even people that have worked on my team. I've been so fortunate to just connect and work with and learn from many people. But the reason I've been so fortunate is because I have focused on making those connections and also getting involved. And so, you're hearing from people here today, whether you're tuning in now or a little bit later, who are very involved within the industry, not just within the companies that they work directly for, but in the broader community, getting involved in the National Apartment Association as a volunteer leader. And you can start right there in your own backyard. Get involved in your local apartment association, get involved in your state apartment association, go to networking events at a local level. They have them in, most cities across the US, and start, meeting people and striking up conversations. For those of you who may be tuning in later that haven't yet been within the industry, but you're really looking for opportunity, I would encourage you to go to NAAHQ.org, and I will put that up here in just a moment. You can also Google rpmcareers.org to find out more about this industry, because we do have videos on that link. You can also go to YouTube and find RPM Careers videos where you'll hear from people like whom you've heard from today, but you'll hear from people who have leasing professional roles, or perhaps they're an assistant community manager, or perhaps they're a groundskeeper or a housekeeper or a service technician, or in a support role in the industry, or they have one of the many amazing jobs as a supplier partner, working for companies who help to support our industry by providing essential products and services. Really, the sky's the limit. So you can go to NAAHQ.org. You can also go to rpmcareers.org to find more information about the jobs and opportunities that are available. And so lastly, Adrian, I want to ask you, since we are doing this today to kick off RPM Careers Week, what's one motivating tip that you can share with everyone to get more involved?
I think for me is that, waking up every day knowing that it's always going to be different. I will be always doing something different. I don't think that's because, now I work for myself. I think even when I was a full-time employee of a management company, it was the same excitement, just like getting out there and knowing that you're not going to do the same thing, go through the same motions over and over again. And also it's the opportunity that's waiting out there. It's so exciting to get up every morning and know that there's so much incredible amount of opportunity, every single day. It's just out there. It's up for grabs for all of us.
I love that. Okay, so I'm putting the link up here. And then I also want to, I don't have my glasses on, so I got to squint to do this. Sorry, guys. That's why I keep taking them off and not putting them back on. Okay. We can laugh at ourselves, right? Let's see here. All right. So there is the link that's coming up for you in just a second, so you can take a peek at that. But I want to run through, so what's happening this week? Okay, so today, Monday, April 14th is Leadership and Support Services Day. So this is really an opportunity for you to get involved and recognize people in leadership and support services roles within our space that have made an impactful difference in your life and the lives of others. And when you go to NAAHQ.org, RPM Careers, we have an RPM Career Toolkit. There are contests and prizes, and the winners of the contest will receive a prize. But also, if the person that you nominate receives a prize, then you, as the person who nominated, is also eligible for a prize. So lots of fun stuff happening. So today is Leadership and Support Services Day. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is Maintenance and Service Professionals Day. So, I'm so glad, again, Adrian, to have you here talking about that. So if this motivates you to hear from Adrian and his fantastic career and the ways that he has expanded and grown and really created this broader sphere of influence where he can add more value and give back, we want you to recognize those people in maintenance and service tomorrow. Wednesday is Apartment On-Site Teams Day. So that's a great opportunity to recognize all of the amazing teams who are serving our communities on site throughout the industry. Thursday is our Super Supplier Collaborator Day. So recognizing all of those great supplier partners that we have in the industry who, quite honestly, we could not do what we do without them. It's a great day to recognize them and how they've made a difference. And then last but not least, Friday is why I love my RPM career. So I encourage you all, just like you've heard from Erica and Becky and Adrian and myself today, to really think about why you love your RPM career. Get involved, share that, enter the contest. We want to hear from you. Be creative, share videos. Like we were saying earlier, make it fun. This is really a great time this week to have a little fun and be creative. And we want to see that from you. So with that said, thank you all, my special guests, for joining me here today to kick off RPM Careers Week. Thank you to those of you who either tuned in or tune in later. We want to see why you love your RPM career. So make it a great week, you guys. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye, everyone.